Hello, everybody, and welcome back to What Did We Just Watch? The show where middle-aged men meticulously break down movies that nobody cares about. We are on episode 5, and Corey, what did we just watch?
You made me watch L.A. Wars.
You liked it.
It was okay, actually. According to us, it was okay. I believe it was up to our standards of B-grade movies.
Definitely. It's this like action movie, kind of like in the vein of Lethal Weapon type thing.
Oh, yeah. Definitely a low-budget Van Damme wannabe movie.
Yeah, renegade cop taking on two warring factions of like the mobsters versus the Mexican mafia type.
I think it was Italians and...
It was like a South American...
Yeah, I think you're right.
Mexican mafia of some sort.
Yeah. Colombians, there we go. We'll say Colombians.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter because half the guys that were in the Colombian army were white dudes anyways.
Actually, it didn't really matter because the henchmen, traded both sides depending on which scene they were in.
That's true. Yeah, in this movie, you have, like he said, henchmen, like swapping sides, guys being recycled, and not just like a guy in the background, like a guy that was like a major part of a scene, and then he was a major part of another scene, the Asian guy.
Oh, yeah. The only difference they changed with him was they put a headband on him.
Yeah, and we were supposed to not know who he was.
Yeah.
And then there's, you can see film equipment in the background, like a boom mic and like some sort of, I don't know, it looked like a...
Lighting prop or lighting pole or something?
Something, and it was just like something that you would normally cut out and reshoot, but they didn't have the budget for that.
No.
What's the general story of this movie?
So the general story, you've got the renegade cop that, gets kicked off the force because he went way too far when dealing with a child molester. I kid you not, that's what it was.
Yeah.
And so he gets kicked off the force as now being a bouncer at one of your local bars in L.A. when this drug war between these two families start happening, and because of his renegade way of doing things, they decide that he needs to be an undercover informant for them, and they need to bring him back, but he wants nothing to do with it, of course.
Yeah.
Until he falls in love with the Italian mob's daughter.
Yeah.
And decides he needs to become a bodyguard for her, which they hire him to do.
Which just so happens that the police department needs an undercover man because this gang war is getting out of control.
According to the DA, yeah. Apparently 5 to 6 people have been killed.
Yeah. And before we continue, there's a little construction going on right now, so if you hear some background noise, that's what it is. And again, this movie is kind of all over the place, and it's more about like the action than any story, so we're going to be hopping around a lot.
Oh, yeah.
So just some stuff I forgot to get out of the way. And then Whiskey was already making some ruckus, so we decided to put him on the lap right off the start. So, yeah, like, what's something that just pops out? There's so much in this movie that's just crazy.
Well, unlike the last one where it was a film made by, stuntmen, this actually did have some kind of a plot to it. It did have some kind of writing to it. But I still think the gratuitous violence was probably one of the best things a part of it.
Oh, yeah.
The very first scene, I think within the first 5-10 minutes of it, you had a woman shooting a shotgun that made a van explode or a car explode. And we're wondering what they're using because I'd love to try that out.
Yeah, it's just nonstop, just like scenes of just violence and.
Oh yeah.
It's not like super bloody or anything, but it's definitely just like action scene after action scene, and everything's over the top. Like you said, she shoots this van and it explodes, but then the van's in the rest of the movie, right? Or is it a different van?
So she shoots the limo or remember that Buick or whatever it was at the very beginning.
Yeah.
And for some reason, she shoots it one time with this shotgun, and it just explodes for no reason other than just visual effects.
Normally they'll show, like, them shooting at a car, and it'll show bullet holes, like, hit where the gas tank is, and then, like, the third one will blow up. This one's just, like, one shot from, like, 70 yards away, just blows it up.
Yeah. And it's just random things like that throughout the whole entire movie that you're just looking at it going, wow.
Yeah, and then the story is just, like, it's really as simple as Corey said. It's, like, two warring drug factions trying to take control of the illegal activities in the city, and it's just like scenes of like one side or the other killing the other side.
Yeah, I would say it's more of a montage movie than anything because there's really you start out, you get the montage of them killing each other, and then they start going back and forth of like one crew killing another crew, and then that crew kills another crew of the other side, and it's just like a montage for like 5-10 minutes.
Yeah,
and then you get a little story.
Yeah, which is fine by me.
Yeah.
And there's you don't really go more than probably 10 minutes without like an action scene or a violent scene.
Which keeps me interested.
Definitely. It's pretty awesome. The main character, the guy's kind of like, he's trying to do like a Van Damme thing with his outfits, like you mentioned.
Yeah, what was it, Lionheart? I think.
Yeah, he had the black tank top and the white pants.
Yeah,
and
definitely a copy.
Definitely trying to copy. And just like any other action movie, everybody knows martial arts, and they all do like the Van Damme spin kicks.
Yeah, somehow I missed that growing up in the 90s. I mean, I didn't get my martial arts card. Did you?
I did.
You did?
We went to the same karate dojo. Remember?
Oh yeah,
the guy in Lamont.
Yeah, I remember that.
I remember because I went to your house and I saw your karate pictures. I'm like, oh yeah, you took karate. Then like, I'm like, actually, I went to karate in Lamont. You're like, oh, me too. It was the same guy, the guy with one eye.
Yeah, it was.
We got taught karate by a guy with a glass eye. I don't think he really.
We don't have enough time to go into those stories.
That's a different podcast altogether.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, so the movie, it does like the whole scenes where it's like just all the gang violence going back and forth, and it picks up when the main hero, like we were talking about, he's kind of like, they want him, he can get his job back and get cleared of all these charges he has pending by infiltrating the gang, and then like the next scene,
he's telling him no, but then all of a sudden he gets approached by the one gang leader to invite him for dinner, and now all of a sudden he's in.
Well, no, what it was he says no, and then the next scene, he saves the mobster's daughter.
That's right.
And then he goes back and talks to the chief of police or whatever, and then he tells him no again.
Because he gets in trouble for like killing all of the people that were sent to kill or kidnap the daughter, which he just wholesale slaughters, by the way.
Yeah, he just like smokes 4 guys in the middle of nowhere. But the thing is, like, they shot the girl's driver, and they were kidnapping her in broad daylight in like some nice shopping area, and he saves the day. And then they're like, "We're going to press charges." Like, well, what are you going to press charges for? He just literally saved the day. Like,
mind you, this is early 90s.
Yeah, like they wouldn't have cared.
Yeah.
But so that kind of gets the story going. Then after that, then the mobster sends to contact him about thanking him, and he offers to like give him money for saving his daughter.
Yeah, but then he said he wants a job.
He wants a job, and he's like, he doesn't even care. He's just like, yeah, I want a job guarding your daughter, and he's all like, smiling,
blatantly, yeah.
And then like, the daughter's like obviously like super in love with him, like right off the bat. And I forgot to mention the mobster's right hand man.
Oh, Vinny,
he's like in love with her, and the mobster wants his daughter to marry her, but she doesn't like him.
Yeah, he's a completely freaky little guy.
He's a tool. Total
yeah,
tool.
Oh, yeah.
But apparently he's really good with a gun.
Yeah, not according to what we've seen.
Yeah. And then, it does go back and forth. So anyways, he's there, and he's like, how about a job guarding your daughter? And the Vinny guy, he does not like that.
No, he doesn't.
He's protesting.
He wants the girl for himself, and he can see what's coming.
So he's like, okay, we'll talk about it tomorrow, and then we'll get back to you. So they're having their meeting talking about it, and then like he just shows up.
Yeah,
right? This
is where we first see him in his Van Damme outfit.
Yeah, he just shows up, and basically, the Vinny guy's like, well, you're not going to get the job type of thing, and then he's like, you're going to leave, or we're going to throw you out, and then the henchmen come to get him.
Yeah,
and then what happens?
He kicks the shit out of the henchmen, of course. And I remember Vinny was saying like, he was going to kill him and fight him and everything else, and then he tells his henchmen, get this guy out of here. Of course, Vinny doesn't do anything.
Yeah, so he whips these henchmen's ass like real quick, and the mobster's like, "Oh, I see you're pretty good with your fist, but how are you with a gun?"
Yeah,
and then it's like, "How are you with a gun?" Like literally, he just shot 4 of your competitors' guys while saving your daughter the day before. Like I want to say he kills them with 1 shot each.
He smoked one dude with a .38 snub-nosed revolver in that bar scene in the forehead.
Yeah.
From like 10 yards.
Yeah, he's just like smoking guys left and right, including the 4 guys who were trying to keep on like. So, anyways, he still has to prove himself. So they have this little shoot off. Yeah. In the gun range,
which I guess was underneath the house or something, or in the house.
I guess. And like, so the mobster's like, all right, here's the deal. You each get a clip.
Yeah, you each get a clip, and they've got a revolver.
Yeah, there's no guns with any magazines. It's just they're using revolvers.
That did trigger my gun senses.
And then so you're gonna unload your clip, and then we're gonna compare basically.
Yeah, best score wins or whatever.
So they shoot, boom, 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 and he's like, "Well, Vinny was a little faster. How do you know that?"
Yeah.
There's no way because they were like the same speed.
Yeah, not to mention Vinny shot all in center mass in the chest, and Dumblefuck was the our hero. Shot them all five or six rounds into the face.
Yeah, they had the same amount of shots. Like all were kill shots.
Yeah, all within group.
Same grouping. Vinny's was in the chest, all kill shots, and his the heroes were all in the head, all kill shots. And like, well, they're both all kill shots. Like, well, why'd you shoot in the head? He's like, because cops wear vests.
You're hired.
You're hired instantly. That's all
instantly hired. Yeah.
Like that got him instantly hired, and not the fact that he saved his daughter or killed people in like real conditions. Like,
yeah.
It was crazy. So then basically he just gets settled in and
basically Vinny tells him that he's on call 24/7. He's at everybody's beck and call. Like if the daughter doesn't call him, he's at Vinny's. He needs to come find Vinny for a job, and basically setting him up for failure type thing.
Yeah, and like basically he tells him like get moved in, you have the day off type of thing, and then you're on duty. So like as soon as he's on duty, like the next day or whatever, like the first thing, it was the girl.
He didn't even last that long because she took him shopping, got him a suit.
Oh, that's right.
And then they went to dinner, where he basically put the moves on her in front of Dad and Vinny. Yeah, at the dinner table.
They're sitting and then he just like scoots his chair over like this, like.
Oh yeah.
And like right in front of the dad and Vinny's just like pissed off.
Yeah, he's fuming the whole entire time, and they didn't even make it till the next day when she was in his bed after that night.
Oh yeah, like she was like real interested in him.
Oh yeah.
And it cuts to one of those scenes, and then the story just kind of. Oh, then at some point there's a montage of the Italians getting, because at the beginning of the movie the Colombians or whatever, they're like aggressors.
Right, they start the war.
And then so they have this conversation, Vinny and the head mobster, they're like, "Oh, like we need to kill them," basically. Like, yeah, but no shit. So then there's a montage of 5 minutes long of just like the Italians murdering the what's it called, the Colombians, yeah. And it's just like, what kind of a mobster are you that like you needed to like have a conversation that should be automatic?
Well, not to mention the Colombians are like, "Who's doing this?"
Oh yeah,
dude, you started the war with these guys that you took their coke and their money. I think they know, who's doing it.
Yeah, the writing is not good. The acting it's not as bad as like Parole Violators, but it's pretty close. Like
there is one person that pulls off the greatest scene, and we'll talk about him later.
Yeah, he's definitely the best. Like he's actually, you can tell, a professional actor.
Yeah.
The mob boss's daughter's not bad. She's like whatever, but her character's kind of a throwaway with no real.
She's kind of the MacGuffin of the whole damn thing. I mean, it's the whole thing why he started to do what he did, and everything was like the catalyst that started it.
Yeah, so basically, they kind of have their little relationship, and he just bangs her the first night he's there.
Oh yeah,
and then the next day he's like, I don't know if we should do this or whatever.
Yeah,
it's just like
Vinny's gonna be mad. We shouldn't be doing this, and she gives him the whole speech of I'm a big girl, I can do what I want type thing.
And then they go on this date at the beach. This is the worst part of the movie.
Oh, the music. We haven't even talked about the soundtrack as far as the music goes.
It's just some random person. It's not like they can't sing. It's just like the song's stupid as shit, and they're like walking on the beach, like supposed to be romantic. Like nobody's here for that.
Oh yeah, and not to mention, I would say if they had stock footage for stock music, this would be stock music.
Yeah, this is like the longest gap in the movie without any kind of awesome thing happening, like violence or some sex scene or something. It's just boring.
Yeah, they're trying to build the love story up, which. Nobody's here for the love story.
No, we're here for just the good stuff. And then they go on a date and they get ambushed.
Yeah, they go to the music house or whatever they called it.
Festival or music bar, I don't know.
Yeah.
So something interesting happens here. They pull up and then there's guys waiting for them. And they come out and he just there's two of them that pop out. He one-shots them, bam, bam. But then the van comes back around.
Yeah, this magical van that has just bad guys in it.
And this
is Spawn Point.
Yeah, and the one of the top henchmen pops out, and he's some guy with a ponytail.
Oh yeah, the ninja guy, whatever.
He's some ninja badass guy, and he actually he challenges I think the guy to a fist fight in the middle of a gunfight for some reason, and he accepts.
Yeah, after he's already killed all the other henchmen.
Yeah, and the top henchman. Well, not there's remember the one that pops up.
Oh yeah, but he's hiding in the spawn
Yeah.
point in the van.
That's true.
He doesn't come out till afterwards.
So the head henchman guy, Ponytail, we'll call him. He just like whoops the hero's ass like pretty bad.
Hardcore. He whoops the shit out of him, and this guy's supposed to be like the best of the best.
Yeah, it wasn't even like back and forth that much. It was like he was whooping his ass, and then the girlfriend saves him by shooting him in the shoulder.
Shooting him in the same spot she gets hit in later.
Yeah. And it just like apparently shots to vital organs don't mean anything in this movie.
Yeah, apparently not.
So they end up hot-wiring a car and getting away. And as they're driving away, like there's a henchman that's just sitting in the van.
Yeah.
He didn't help at all.
Twiddling his thumbs through the whole entire thing. What I can only imagine would be the adept guy, because as soon as he comes out of the van, he goes to shoot them in the car as they're leaving. His Uzi jams. And of course he gets run over by the main character, right. Goes over the hood and over the windshield, and just lays on the ground.
Yeah, it's just classic. The bad guys are always totally inept, in this movie. Not any different. And then the funny thing is, like, so they just have another close encounter on the girls. They go to instead of going back to the safety of the mansion, which they keep talking about so secure, they go to some diner. And meanwhile, since he's undercover, his boss from the police department is trying to bring him in. So he's like arresting him on the down low, saying like, "Oh, you have a warrant for your arrest." And then instead of like taking the obvious hint, like, "Yeah, go talk to your boss," like this isn't gonna blow your cover. He like beats the shit out of the cops.
He kicks the craps out both these cops. And the sad thing about it is, I mean, everybody nowadays knows what a cop should do. When in a situation you're supposed to show your ID or announce yourself. These guys just walk up to him and goes, "You're coming with us," and like they flash their guns but no badges.
Yeah.
So I could really see how this guy would have been like, "Hell no!
Yeah.
I just been in a gunfight. Now I'm supposed to go with you guys? No, kiss off." And so he winds up kicking the shit out of these guys and apparently like disabling them and putting them in the hospital.
Yeah, they talk about that later. Yeah, like it didn't. What Corey said makes total sense. Is like. He just got like another close call, and these guys don't show their badges. But then later on, so that would make sense if that's how they played it. But later on, they said that he knew who they were, and he's like, "Well, I couldn't go in because it's going to blow my cover."
Yeah.
Like, how is it going to blow his cover?
Yeah, how is it going to blow his cover? Because he's only there with the girl, and she don't know who they are or he is. And he knew who they were, but he still proceeded to kick the shit out of them. It's like they owed him money or something, and he just like goes to town on these two poor cops that they were told to, "Hey, go bring in so and so, keep it on the down low." Okay, and they just get the crap beat out of them.
Yeah, wrong assignment.
Oh yeah.
And then the daughter is so stupid. She's like,
has
"I
no
don't
clue.
understand why they're coming after me."
Yeah, she has no clue because apparently she's been in London or something at a boarding school, and then she was in college, so she never had any contact with her dad.
Even though she's like 30.
Yeah, and she has no clue that he's like the number one drug, runner on the West Coast or something. Because I think this was L.A., wasn't it?
Yeah, it was L.A. Yeah. L.A. Wars. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So, she has no clue what her daddy does, and she's under the impression that he's a businessman and everybody wants his money. Bullshit.
Yeah, because earlier, remember at the dinner, the very first scene, he's like, "Oh, you should marry this guy because he's a legitimate businessman." So maybe she's just dumb or something.
That too, but like she's like, "I'm a big girl, you can tell me," and then just like stares her down, and so she leaves.
Yeah, and then basically the movie just continues to be like random, like violent gang fights, and which is all cool and like just like nonsense. The story doesn't really pick up until Vinny sends our hero Dumblefuck to go collect money.
Yeah, since I guess the daughter doesn't need him, it's Vinny's turn to use him, and he sends him as a collection agent for some debts that were owed. And what's he do?
So he goes to this bar, and he goes to he's asking for Big Tony, some generic
Crazy
name.
Tony or something
Crazy
like that?
Tony or Crazy Bob. And who does he run into? The guy he kicked earlier.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put it up here. Maybe some still shots. You can see the first scene and then the second scene. It's clearly the same guy.
Yeah, the guy in the bar that he basically threw out of the bar.
Yeah.
And then now he in a different bar, same guy playing pool.
They don't try to hide, they don't make him change his facial hair, cut his hair, give him a different type of clothing. It's just clearly the same guy.
Oh yeah.
So anyways, he just does the normal bar stuff and he collects. Well, I don't want to skip over this because he finds the guy in the bar. He's like, you owe my boss money. But he just beats these guys up, like 4 guys. He turns his back to them and holds a gun point blank at the guy's face. But he turns his back to like 4 guys he just beat up.
Yeah.
And none of them
Nobody do anything, yeah.
It's stupid. So anyways, he collects the money and heads back. What does he find when he comes back? Why did he send him out to collect that debt?
So I guess Vinny decided it was going to be a good time to go in and claim what's his from the daughter.
Yes.
The only problem is, I guess he waits like 2 hours to do this because he's in the process of trying to grape the daughter when all of a sudden Bumblefuck kicks in the door in and like saves her, of course.
Yeah. Before we go further, this is the stupidest scene I think I've seen in a movie in a long time. Because,
oh, yeah. Easy.
Like Corey said, he sends him on this errand with this plan in mind, but he waits forever to where he would go back and have time to come back.
Yeah.
He comes in, saves the day. Tell him the next dumb. You remember the next dumb thing?
Oh, yeah. I can't forget it. So, of course, he kicked the shit out of Vinny. Vinny's laying on the ground. And now he's trying to console the daughter. And the daughter's like, I'm okay. I'm just a little shaken. Wait till my daddy finds out about it. And, of course, the big line of the whole movie, I think, is Daddy walks in and goes, Daddy already knows.
Daddy already knows.
And proceeds to, like, rough up Vinny some more. And me and him look at each other and go, was he watching? What the hell's going on?
If you're not keeping score at home, the father was waiting in the hallway, listening to his daughter starting to get raped, and watches the other guy going to save the day while all of this is happening.
Apparently, yeah. But then the most stupidest thing, once he, roughs up Vinny some more, our hero pulls him off, and he basically puts him in a chokehold, and Daddy now goes, I never want to see him again. Get him out of here. And he lets him go.
Yeah.
Any good mob boss would have put this guy in a wood chipper.
The number one ruthless mobster in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
The guy who tried to rape his daughter.
Yeah.
Lets him go.
Yeah, with a slap on the wrist. Doesn't even beat him up a lot or put him in,
wood
traction or anything like that. And of course, what happens? Vinny goes to
Puerto Ricans or Colombians or whatever.
Whoever it is, the other guys they're fighting. Because, we don't know and we don't care. It doesn't matter.
First of all, it cuts straight to the scene, and the whole time they're having this war, but he knows exactly where to go to find him.
Apparently, because, it's been such a big quest to find out who's fighting who.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, after that scene, he goes right to the warehouse and goes, hey, I want to talk to so-and-so. And immediately turncoats, and now he's working for the other side.
He just knows where he's at.
Apparently, yeah.
So he goes there, and, it's funny. I want to say, if I remember right, he walks to the door, and there's, a guard on the inside the door, and they, point the gun, total crossfire situation.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, well, no, here, I'm here to give information.
Yeah.
So he goes in there, tells the other crime lord that he's going to give him up his boss, and he just believes him.
Yeah, nothing. The only stipulation is the daughter's his.
Yeah, he gets to keep the daughter.
He gets to keep the daughter.
The guy gets to keep everything else.
And I guess he gets to run the distribution and whatever.
Something.
Yeah, something cheesy. He still wants to be the boss.
Yeah, and but he just during this super bloody blood debt. They even call it this is more than just a turf war. This is a blood vendetta.
Yeah.
So they're in the middle of this, and he just the number 2 guy in this organization that he's against walks in, and he just takes his word for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Vinny calls up his buddies at the Italian mobster's house and saying, "Hey, turn off the security system."
Yeah. Basically, he's got his bodyguards are on his side.
Yeah. And so they disable the security system, and then what?
And so they go in, they do a raid, and they wind up, capturing the daughter and the old man, the Italian boss, and in true henchman villain fashion, instead of doing just a straight gunshot to the face to kill the mob boss, what do they wind up doing? They wind up hanging him in the backyard.
Yeah. And it's just it's just totally unnecessary. But at least he didn't escape, and it came back to haunt him. They did kill him. I think it was supposed to be dramatic or something.
Yeah, they were supposed to be dramatic because the daughter was there and she witnessed the whole thing, and then there was a little bit of a plot twist. What was that?
The plot twist was he is when he double crosses him.
Yeah, and he turned on him.
So he's I want the daughter. He's well, no, I'm not done with my blood vendetta. I want to kill his daughter too.
Yeah, or no, he wanted the daughter, but he was going to kill Vinny because Vinny killed his nephew.
I thought he wanted to kill the daughter.
No, he wanted the daughter for himself.
Oh, okay.
And that was the thing, because he was going to kill Vinny, because Vinny was the one that put the hit out on his nephew. And he wanted the daughter for himself. And he's like, no, I told you nobody touches the girl, and winds up double-crossing him.
I misunderstood. So,
I don't think it matters.
Another, like, inept part. So, the Colombian guy knows he's letting him in. So the Italian guy has his henchmen. They're just like hiding in the background.
Yeah.
With their guns still.
Yeah.
So once he double crosses him, like, what's to say that they're not gonna just shoot him? And that's what happens.
Yep.
Like, as soon as he double crosses, like, okay,
you can see it happen. Yeah.
And they just like murder him. So the Colombian guy's out of the picture now, and now
Vinny's supposed to be running both operations.
Yeah. He takes control of everything. And like there's even a scene where he goes to their hideout or whatever. And he's like,
yeah,
he's like laying out how the law house gonna be. He's like, we're gonna do this, this, and this. And then some guy's like, who made you the boss?
Pop.
Instantly blows him away.
Yeah, yeah. No build up, no nothing. Just kills him and goes, okay, now everybody's salary's doubled.
Who made you boss?
Okay.
And then, they're like, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, so
I'm getting $2 now.
He immediately puts a hit out on our hero, Dumble Dipshit or whatever.
Yeah.
And so this guy knows that. In the meanwhile, the hero had gone back to the house and he saw that what had happened. He saw that the girl had been kidnapped, so he knows what's going on. So you would think he would like go into some sort of hiding mode, but no, he just goes back into the bar where everyone knows where he works because that's where they met him. So he just goes in there, orders a drink, gets his buddy killed.
Oh yeah, the bartender.
He orders a drink. The guy gives him a drink, and as soon as he does it, like these guys bust in and start blasting.
For no other reason. And then, well, okay, so our hero's name is got to be like one of the quintessential, main character name, Quinn.
Quinn, that's right.
Yeah, they call him Quinn.
Totally forgettable.
I prefer Bumblefuck because that's pretty much what it does all through the entire movie.
We're going to call him Bumblefuck. So he goes in there. So this is funny. The guys break in when they shoot the bartender friend. They had a jump on him, so they could have shot the super dangerous guy who was actually closer to them, who's been killing people left and right, free shot, or kill the bartender who's handing a drink. They kill the bartender.
Yeah.
Which gives Bumblefuck a chance to shoot and kill him.
Yeah, he drops the one guy instantly. He drops the other guy with a shoulder shot, and then it becomes a 5-minute karate kickboxing fight with knives and everything else.
Oh, yeah. Like, he kills the one guy, the other guy's like, he's like, I want you, like, man on man. But then he pulls a knife out.
Yeah, and winds up stabbing him in the gut. And, of course, he does the whole reverse thing and reverse it and stabs the henchman in the gut.
He's trying to get information out, but he's, like, killing him as he's, like... He's shanking him as he's trying to get information.
Who sent you? Who sent you?
So then, I think after that is when he goes back to the mansion where... What, Vinny is held up?
Somehow the police have now, he calls the police and tells them, hey, send a forensic unit, send all these cops to this guy's mansion because, there's a bunch of dead henchmen. There's, the main crime boss is hanging from a rope, literally from a tree in the backyard. So what do you guys expect? It's going to be a crime scene.
For like a month.
Right, easy.
Crime.
No, this is like 3 days later, and now Vinny's moved into the boss's house and is now claimed it as his own. And, is running the operations out of there. So what's he do? He returns back to the mansion and tries to get the girl back because this is where the girl's at.
Yeah. So he like sneaks in there and kills some people. And this is where I was like, because the movie's kind of going on for a while at this point. I'm like, oh, is this the last scene? This isn't as cool as it should be.
Yeah.
And then so he goes in there and they have this they find out that they're in the same room. And like they have this conversation like, you're never going to get her. And then it's like the editing's so weird. Then they cut to like the bad guy just outside. Already.
All you hear is that like it shows a picture or it shows the scene of him like behind a curtain, and then you hear a door close and some like footsteps, and the next scene you see him run outside and Vinny's already in a car driving down the driveway. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, maybe he's gonna like run around to the side of the house and get in front of him and shoot Vinny through the window or something. Nope, it cuts to another scene where he's driving in his Jeep down the alleyway.
Yeah.
Looking, I don't even know what he's looking for until you see like this homeless guy walking in a shopping cart digging through some trash.
The magical homeless guy.
It does bring us to the most probably influential character and most well-spoken character in the whole entire movie is the homeless guy.
Yeah,
he gets information from.
He pulls up and they don't explain anything. Like they kind of seems like, yeah, I need to go talk to homeless Joe over there. Because
who knows everything in town.
Everything. He just goes up to him and he's like, they just have this conversation. But the guy who played the homeless guy, he delivers his lines really well. Like an actual actor. I was like, oh, it stuck out.
Yeah, because apparently all homeless people know everything on the criminal underworld that goes on.
And then I kind of was like, there's this part that made me go, what the hell? But then they kind of explain it. He's like, well, I need to know where Vinny's hiding out. And he's like, well, what's it worth to you? And he's like, $20. And the guy's like, 50. So he's offering to give this guy the information he needs for $50, and he's like starting to haggle with him. But it ended up just being a joke. Like,
yeah, because he said first the homeless guy said 50. He said 20. The homeless said 50. The guy said 40. And then the homeless guy said
like 45 or
45,
something.
and then Bumblefuck says 100, and then the homeless guy goes 50.
Yeah.
And then they started laughing about it. He goes, "Don't try to cheat me, so and so." And he gives them the money and the information, and then they split.
Yeah.
And it's like,
what
the hell just happened?
They don't explain it, which is fine because the movie's not really. You're not here for the story. No.
What's it worth to you?
$20.
50.
40.
75.
100.
50.
Done.
Don't ever try to cheat me, boy.
No. But the nice thing it does lead us into our next murder montage.
Yeah, this sets up the final showdown between Bumblefuck and Vinny. It's set at a factory.
Yeah.
And there's not a ton to it, really. It does start off with a really bad day for night. Like, they shot the day and they just turned the contrast and darkness way down.
Yeah.
The brightness way down.
If anybody ever wants to see what not to do, how to turn a scene from day to night, please watch this video.
There's, like, this two henchmen standing on this ramp that goes up.
Yeah.
And, like, he goes up there and sneaks up, kills the one guy. And the other guy's on the other side. And he's, like, at the very... Like, you even pointed out, he's at the very edge. Oh, no, something like that on the roof.
That was the guy on the roof, but
he's standing on the edge too, and he just kicks him off or whatever. And then he climbs up to the roof, and this guy's like on patrol on the roof, and he's like on the very edge.
Oh, he's standing on
like
top of the parapet.
Yeah, and he just like kicks him off, and the guy's like screaming, "Ah!"
Yeah, like nobody would have noticed that.
Yeah, and as dumb as this movie has been already, maybe this is the dumbest part. The hero, instead of he's already successfully snuck around and killed all the sentries. So you figured he would go stealth until he was discovered.
Yep.
No, he jumps on this crate.
He repels from the ceiling first.
Oh, that's true. Wait.
He repels from the ceiling, which you don't see his face because he's facing the other direction.
Yes.
And obviously this is the stuntman who's doing it because the hair, the body shape, and nothing matches this guy as he's rappelling down, and you just see him run off.
We were on several parts of this movie. This is one that
we had to watch this at least twice. One, to stop laughing. Two, just to confirm what we did see.
And it wasn't like Parole Violators where the guy actually repels like 3 stories. In this one, the guy repels like
6 feet? Yeah, 5 or 6 feet at least.
And it's a different guy. It's just hilarious.
Yeah, he couldn't do a rappel scene.
Yeah. And then he does the dumbest thing ever. He goes and finds this crate, stands on it. This crate happens to be in the most well-lit part of this whole factory.
Yeah, a red light behind him for the aesthetics.
And he starts screaming and throwing grenades, right?
Yeah. He's doing the standard, 1990s, 1980s, takes the grenade with his teeth and and chucks it. And we're all thinking, because the last scene was he's talking to Vinny, and Vinny's like, "You can't get us all." And then, because they're all in this little office, and we're thinking, shit, he just threw the grenade in the office. Well, his girlfriend / mob boss's daughter is in there with him, and we just looked at each other and went, did he just blow up the daughter too? I mean, seriously? But no, apparently then it switches over to this area and where nobody is at, and the grenade goes off.
Yeah.
But just the editing makes it look like he chucks this grenade in the office.
It was crazy. And he just starts killing henchmen. Oh, we forgot to mention the whole time in this movie on the Colombian side, there was just we don't even talk about the girl with the shotgun.
Yeah, the girl with the shotgun. She survives all the way up to this point.
And she was ruthless. Whatever. So Bumblefuck guy, he's like going around killing all these guys. And he comes around the corner, and the evil girl's there. We thought we were going to get a girl fight.
Yeah, we thought we were going to get a girl-on-girl fight, but that didn't happen.
No, so she catches him and she shoots him in the shoulder. And what does he do?
She probably dies one of the better ways in this movie.
Yeah.
So in a previous scene where he's doing the commando thing and gearing up with the guns and the bullets, you see him look at the knife and he puts it in a sheath, and we're over here laughing our ass off because we're like, oh yeah, a knife was really gonna do some good in a gunfight. Well, that was a little bit of foreshadowing because after he gets shot in the shoulder, I don't even think he punched her or anything. He just kind of like took the bullet, spun around, grabbed this knife, threw it up in the air, catches it by the blade, and then chucks it right at her face, and it goes right into her eyeball.
Like blood sprays everywhere.
Oh, yeah. We're talking like anime-style death where blood spray and everything else, and she just kind of goes on the ground.
I wish we recorded ourselves because our reaction, we were like, oh shit!
Yeah, that was the oh shit moment of the whole entire movie. It wasn't anything else but this one.
We'll probably put that one up there.
Oh yeah, that's definitely needs to be an oh shit moment.
And you'll see that after she shoots him, it looks like she's far away. Yeah. But then when it shows the next shot of him getting ready to throw the knife, they're like from 15 feet away. Only.
Yeah, something like that.
And so it's just, editing's not the greatest. So
I was hoping he would have got the knife back, but he didn't.
No.
He left it.
Which he needs it for the next thing to happen.
Yeah, I know.
Our friend Ponytail comes back, and apparently this girl he just knifed to death was Ponytail's
girlfriend or something like that, because now he goes into a blood rage.
Yeah, he goes into
whatever you want to call it.
Blood rage, and he's like, he challenges him again to a fist fight.
Yeah.
But then the guy's like, he sets all his guns down, and then the Ponytail immediately pulls out size after challenging him to a fist fight. So they have another fight, and I guess it kind of makes sense because Ponytail did get shot in the shoulder. Last time he whooped his ass up and down the field, but this time our Dumblefuck just kind of dominates the fight.
Yeah, I know. But also you got to remember too, Dumblefuck got already shot too.
Oh yeah, that's true. And his was more fresh.
Oh yeah, his was fresh. But I still say if you look on the Chinese lettering that goes down one guy's back, I think it does say barbecue beef pork or something like that.
And this fight is definitely a little bit more close, but excuse me. It goes back and forth, but Bumblefuck gets the advantage. And how does he finish him off?
Well, we were hoping for a standard, henchman,
Spike.
Top of the line something,
Hook.
Like we've seen before with a hook or a nail in the wall or you're kicking him out a window. That was pretty prevalent in that other one.
They hated windows in that movie.
Yeah, they did. But nope, he does the standard, kind of knocks him out, dazes him, and he just grabs him and does the neck snap finishing move and moves on. So it was kind of disappointing.
Or something like that.
Yeah, it was
pretty
terrible.
lackluster one-liner.
Yeah, it wasn't even a good one-liner.
And then now we have the showdown between Vinny and Bumblefuck.
Yeah.
And this is like straight ripped off of Hard Target. At the last scene of Hard Target, after in a fight in a warehouse, Van Damme has a shotgun. And the bad guy has his girlfriend with like an arrow, I think, pointed at her neck. And he can't shoot because he has a shotgun. It doesn't really come into play, but it's like after copying Van Damme's outfit, it kind of stuck in my mind.
Yeah.
They're kind of ripping it off. And this was made the same year, 94. So maybe, I don't know. Anyways.
We're not saying, but we're saying.
Yeah. It's been established already that Vinny's really good with a gun.
Yeah.
And he's like good like in a tight situation.
Supposedly.
And as he's being stalked by the guy, he just starts firing his 6-shooter off indiscriminately.
His snub-nosed little .38. Not even a cool henchman gun. You figured the main character would have like a nice gun or something. Nope.
Yeah, so then what happens next?
So he winds up, they do a little banter back and forth. No actual contact.
Yeah.
And they just kind of banter back and forth and, they're talking shit to each other. And Vinny finally says, well, if I can't have her, nobody's going to have her. And we're like, okay, idle threat, whatever. No, he throws her out the bay door and winds up, as she's laying on the ground, walks up and just puts a round through her side, like in the chest, out the other side, through the lungs, through the heart. And we're like, damn, she's dead.
Total kill shot.
Yeah, and then runs off to get into a car and leaves. Well, The funny thing is, Bumblefuck, I guess he sees all this, but like instead of running to the woman he loves' aid, all you see is her laying on the ground, and he makes a beeline out the side door.
Yeah.
And we're like, where in the hell is he going? Well, come to find out, he's going to like, head him off at the pass.
Yeah.
And, get Vinny. And somehow he's found his shotgun again.
Yeah, the explosive
shotgun. And Vinny's driving right toward him, probably going to run him down with the car. And so he shoots twice, I think.
Yeah, something
destroys
like that.
the headlight. And then, of course, I guess the second round was the magic bullet.
Yeah.
And winds up, like, blowing the car's front end up. And then they do the standard running through the boxes, flips over on fire, and skids to a halt. Which I was kind of hoping for, like, Vinny to get out. And he was able to, like, walk up to him and do some kind of one-liner and a finisher move like the standard 80s, 90s stuff was. But nope, we walk back in, and he's now... he sees the girl laying on the ground, and what's he do? He picks her up and cradles in his arm, and now she's talking like everything's normal.
Yeah, not breathing heavy.
Yeah, not breathing heavy, not like, oh, this is definitely a death shot. Nope, this is, everything's fine. They didn't even show her at the hospital or nothing.
Nothing.
That was her final scene. Mm-hmm. You never seen her after that.
When they're driving away, remember?
Oh, that's right, yeah.
So we're thinking the whole time that Vinny's going to get up, because it never showed him actually get finished off. But no, he just died off screen.
Yeah, nothing.
Last boss.
Never seen him.
So, yeah, then this is something we forgot too. So he goes to get his job back because he completed his mission.
Yeah.
And then so the guy's like, okay, here's your job back plus some... Well, they didn't talk about the money. But here's your job back, and he just like immediately rejects it. No, I'm good.
Yeah, he's like, fuck this. This brought me too much problems before. You keep it.
But what we forgot to tell you earlier is like the whole time, every time he's going back to talk to this like lieutenant or whatever, he's like telling him to like fuck himself and like fuck you. Like it just like doesn't give a shit like at all. So anyways.
Well, he didn't work for him, so yeah, he's like, screw off.
But there's no like decorum. He just like fuck you every time the guy tells him something. And then so he rejects a job and he goes and lives with the sugar mama because she's still rich probably.
Yeah, because just as he's leaving, he goes, yeah, I've got a job already. I'm a bodyguard. Mm-hmm. And we're thinking to ourselves, wait a minute. The crime boss just got killed. They all know that it's, drug money.
Yeah.
Wouldn't they have seized all the assets? And this woman is probably poorer than he is right now. And he's like, I'm going to go work for her. Dude, she ain't got no money. Yeah. She done.
He just gave up a good job with like a pension,
and
medical benefits, and a
I
good
know,
salary.
the whole thing. I'm going to go be a bodyguard. No, you're not.
And then the movie just ends. They just drive off.
It shows them driving down PCH Highway, and you're kind of hoping the car explodes later on, but it doesn't. So and then the credits start rolling.
So that was LA Wars. Again, as we always ask, would you recommend it to a like-minded person?
Oh, yeah. It's got some forgivable things in it, but the action definitely makes up for it.
Yeah, this movie is freaking awesome. I think I like Parole Violators a little bit better because it had a better payoff in the end.
Yeah.
The last scene was a little
Stunt
bit better.
work was a lot better.
Yeah, but this one was no slouch. Like, there was, like, no shortage of fighting.
Oh, no.
No shortage of, like, anything exploding. You didn't have to worry about that. The only bad part was that stupid scene on the beach. But other than that, this movie's awesome. Like, I highly recommend it to like-minded people.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if you're definitely looking for a B-grade movie, I would definitely suggest to watch this one if you got about 90 minutes to kill.
Yeah. And then some more housekeeping. We're working on a new set. We got some things in mind. We're not sure when it's going to come out, but we're working on it, and we're going to get it taken care of. And we got some new projects coming up. We're not ready to announce them just yet, but we got some more stuff coming out.
Definitely more stuff in the works.
So keep an eye out for some new stuff coming out, and thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. Remember, like, share, and subscribe. It helps us out.
I need lots of money. He eats a lot.
Yeah, sure.
Bye.
He eats a lot, I'm sure.
He does.
Probably.
Daddy finds out.
Daddy already knows.